And welcome everybody to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday, November 20th. I'm Brian Haggerty, and remember to send all of your news to us here, LyndhurstCommunityNews at gmail.com. I'll leave that in the description box below the video. Send in all the information from your club, your church, your schools, your organizations, whatever it may be, sports, teams, as well as birthdays and anniversaries of note, so we can share them here. This is just our way of keeping the community together, keeping people informed of things that are important, and I will have some updates on some zoning things that have gone on recently before the planning board. I'll also update you on the fact that there are no other updates for anything coming up in terms of building-wise, but we'll update you on all of that soon, and but let's get into some of the stuff that's happening. We have the holidays coming up, so there's a lot of great and fun things to put on your calendar. Starting with the annual Christmas in the Park, something we look forward to in this town every year. Yes, Mayor Jan Giarrusso and the Board of Commissioners warmly invite you and your family to the Christmas in the Park at Lyndhurst Town Hall Park. Enjoy an enchanting evening of holiday festivals, festivities, entertainment, and free refreshments as we celebrate the joy of the season together. So this will be Saturday, December 14th from 5:30 to 9 o'clock in the Town Hall Park. And the rain date will be December 15th. Well, we haven't had much rain, but we're going to get some over the next few days, folks, which is good. We need it. Now, the activities will include photos with Santa, the tree lighting, of course, horse and carriage rides, a live nativity scene, live music and dance performances, trackless train rides, costume characters, but you're also going to have refreshments such as hot chocolate, hot apple cider, coffee, eggnog, cider donuts, cookies, and candy. Enjoy special performances by the Bell Tones, a children's character review, a trio of carolers, and more. There will also be local food vendors offering treats and delights to complete your holiday experience. And on Sunday, December 8th, the United Presbyterian Church of Lyndhurst, which is at 511 Ridge Road, is holding its annual A Journey to Bethlehem Living Nativity. Come watch a free, live, narrated performance of the story of Jesus' birth. Presentation times are 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. There will even be a camel there. Yeah, a real camel. As well as refreshments. All are welcome, of course, and for more information, you may contact the church office at 201-939-7920. And again, I'll leave that in the description box below. And don't forget, join Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church for the first annual Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church Christmas concert. It's called Joy to the World on Friday, December 6th. It'll be at the Parish Center, which is at 146 Copeland Avenue. It's from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m., and there'll be a special appearance by good old St. Nick, who will distribute a special Christmas gift to each child in attendance and also take a photograph. The concert is a fundraiser for the Good Counsel Homes, sheltering homeless pregnant women and their children, as well as the Mercy House, providing food and clothing for those in need. Tickets are $30 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Admission includes a delicious buffet, dessert, and beverage. All right, and here's an amazing story from the Lyndhurst Fire Department, who, for some of these guys, this was a great, probably the best Christmas present you could have given them. So over the last 2 weeks, 8 of their active and inactive members jumped on an opportunity to bring home their 1973 Mack CF pumper, formerly operated by Engine 3 when they were here. Imagine that after all these years. It was part of what was originally called the Hill Company from 1973 to 1991. And just as a little history, the reason why the Hill Company had its name is because originally there was a firehouse up on the top of Valley Brook Avenue, on the hill as we called it. So, of course, that was closed down. The name was kept for many years, but they retired that in 1991. So after they received word that the Mack was still operational and intact from a Facebook marketplace post, and it was forwarded to the department. So when they saw this, eight members now actually, another one jumped on, decided to save this living piece of history for our department and township. So the MAC will be privately owned by members of the department. So there was no taxpayer dollars involved here. However, it will be slowly restored by these private owners over time to its original glory to pay tribute to the department and members who are no longer with them. That this once operated on this mobile piece of American firefighting history. This is amazing, folks. I was totally... did you see the pictures? They're on Facebook. If you haven't, go check them out on the Lyndhurst Fire Department's Facebook page. So the MAC will be shared with the department and the public during parades, community events, as well as funeral and memorial services. Yesterday, members drove nearly 4 hours into New York State to close the deal and bring back the return of the MAC. Upon re-entering to the South Bergen area, the current Engine 3 welcomed its predecessor home to Bergen County in a ceremonial escort. And if you didn't notice, the current fleet's paint scheme was modeled after this engine. So it was like beautifully red, because in the past we had a white fire truck, we had a yellow one. Now they're all back to the traditional red. So this is just a great thing for the town here. And they want to give a special thanks to Ron Garofalo of DAG from Lyndhurst for assisting them with the logistics. They look forward to enjoying the presence of this priceless piece of their department's history moving forward. So that's a great story from the fire department, and I spoke to former Chief Louis Pippon all about it, and apparently it's been privately owned 3 different times since it's left Lyndhurst, which is pretty amazing. We don't really recall where it was used in service. What generally happens is there's a lot of small rural towns, either in the Midwest or in the South, and they don't have the money to buy brand new fire trucks or pumpers. So what they'll do is they will purchase older ones from other agencies. So, of course, when we sold that one back, what's our year? I forgot the year we even sold it. It was most likely purchased by a town or a region to be used somewhere. But it has been owned by 3 different private owners, which is pretty amazing. So congratulations, guys. What an amazing find that was. Okay, now I just want to end with some updates. I always mention how if there are any new proposals on any properties for construction, that I would try to make sure I keep everybody up to date. There still has been nothing from the Lyndhurst Diner property, which is amazing, but also a little scary because we don't want to see somebody come in and propose apartments. Nobody wants to see that. In fact, that's been such an issue, and because people in all the towns around here, and basically in the whole state, it's the law. The affordable housing laws are putting so much pressure on towns that they can't say no if a developer wants to build apartments somewhere, because then the developer can appeal that in the county under what's called builder's remedy. And those lawsuits are generally awarded 99.9% of the time by the judge. And why is that? Because the judge will look at the number of units that a township or municipality is in need of for affordable housing units and will award it. The scary thing is, and this is I don't know how this is even possible, but if they're awarded builder's remedy, they can bypass our local zoning laws, and then we lose complete and total control. There's been a class action lawsuit by many towns who just have had enough, saying, listen, this needs to go back to the hands of the townships, the municipalities, not being decided by some bureaucrats we don't even know down in Trenton using these calculations. So the new calculations came out last month. I did speak about that. I also presented the link for people to follow to actually read the latest affordable housing report from the state. Lyndhurst is now short 366 units. And I'm told that the calculations for Lyndhurst are using the Meadowlands as well. So we have all this open space, and for whatever reason, maybe they don't realize down there that it's mostly swamp and not able to be built upon, except that what they are building out there, and Lyndhurst has no control at all of the zoning in the Meadowlands, but they are building warehousing, which is wonderful for the town. That's a win. You want warehousing all day long because there's no drain of services. There's not going to be any children coming into the school district. They're not going to need the garbage pickup. They're not going to need police and emergency service. Oh, they may, but that's going to be very rare. So you get the biggest bang for the buck from your taxes, so to speak, with warehousing. It's the best to have. The worst, of course, are apartments, condominiums. So the one piece of property that has been wide open is on New York Avenue, not the TD Bank property. There's something coming up about that. I'll explain it once it's been filed. But the planning board did award an ordinance, a variance rather, to build 3 two-family houses on the property that is vacant halfway down New York Avenue. Now, if you remember, I reported last year that the person who purchased that property wanted to build a 16-units apartment building, and the planning board shot it down. Now, the same person came back. Now, this is why I always say it gets very, very tricky, especially when it comes to builder's remedy. As much as the township wants to say no to all of these apartments, we can't. We have to try to work out some type of deal. So this builder came back and wanted to build 3 two-families. So they awarded that. Because if we said no, then he's going to go on, he's going to appeal it on builder's remedy. And then he can come back and he could build a 60-unit apartment complex. He could do whatever he wants in that case. So we never let it get that far, obviously. And builders also don't want to really tie up money and time in lawsuits. But if they have a lot of money invested into something, they may very well do that, such as what happened with the Vivo property next to the Bogle building on Valley Brook Avenue. So these now I'm happy to report again that even though there are 3 two-families, they won't be apartments. Now the setbacks are all correct. They're the right height, the right setbacks. They did everything properly. They followed all zoning laws. The only variance that was given, as I say, was to make the lots 41 feet in width. That's how they were able to fit 3 there. But I'll tell you, seeing how two-family homes are starting to list $1.2 million, $1.3 million, especially if they're brand new, that's a lot of money, folks. And something like that, of course, is going to add tremendously to our tax base because these new homes have got to be assessed at exorbitant high values because they're brand spanking new. So that's what we're getting there on New York Avenue. And my personal opinion is I'll take the two-family homes any day over more apartments. Now, as far as the TD Bank property goes, again, nothing's been filed yet. I've heard some discussions on what will go there, but that's, nothing's public, so I'm not going to use or talk about anything that's hearsay at this point. And that's all. There's nothing else in the docket for the planning boards in Lyndhurst, only these 3 two-family homes. So that's the update on that property. And that's pretty much it this week, folks. So next week is Thanksgiving, and the holiday seasons begin. And as I say, there's so much going on around town for the holidays that you could pretty much fill up your calendar with a lot of exciting things to do. And there's always so much going on in town, and that's what makes one of the things, of course, that makes Lyndhurst so wonderful. So I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. There may or may not be an episode next week. I'm not sure. I've got a lot going on, and with the holiday coming, so we might have a vacation next week. We'll see. If not, obviously, you'll get notified that we will be here, as we are every Wednesday. And as we always remind you, a community is not its roads, its buildings, or its houses. A community is its people. This is a great community. Let's keep it that way. Get to know your neighbors, look after your elderly neighbors, and let's keep Lyndhurst a great community in which to live. All right, everybody, God bless you, and I'll talk to you either next week or the week after. Take care.